Picture this. A billionaire builds a sprawling, ultra-luxurious mansion right in the heart of a bustling city, but pays absolutely zero in property taxes. Not a single cent. The local tax collectors were furious, practically pulling their hair out, but legally, their hands were completely tied. They couldn't do a thing about it. So, how on earth did he pull off this incredible financial magic trick? The secret, my friends, lies in a brilliant and ridiculously clever interpretation of the law. You see, in his city, the property tax laws were written with a very specific loophole. The law stated that taxes only applied to permanent structures fixed to the ground. That's the key phrase. If a structure isn't permanently fixed, if it has the ability to move, then legally it's not a house. It's classified as a vehicle. Now our billionaire, let's call him Mr. Sterling, wasn't just rich. He was incredibly smart. He read that law, and a light bulb didn't just go on. A whole chandelier lit up in his head. He saw an opportunity that no one else had ever considered. So he got to work. He hired the best architects and engineers and commissioned the construction of a magnificent 5-bedroom luxury villa. We're talking marble floors, a home cinema, a gourmet kitchen, a swimming pool, the works. It was the kind of place you'd see on the cover of a magazine. A true architectural masterpiece, sitting on a prime piece of city real estate. As you can imagine, the city's tax department was watching this whole process with glee. They were rubbing their hands together, calculating the massive property tax bill this new mansion would generate. The day finally came. The construction was complete, and Mr. Sterling had moved in. A senior tax inspector, armed with a clipboard and an official-looking briefcase, confidently strode up to the front door. He rang the bell, and Mr. Sterling himself answered, greeting him with a calm, knowing smile. The inspector, trying to maintain his professional composure, presented him with the bill. A crisp new invoice for $100,000 in annual property taxes. The inspector probably expected an argument, some negotiation, maybe a bit of grumbling, but he got none of that. Instead, Mr. Sterling just smiled wider. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, simple remote control with a single red button. He looked the tax inspector dead in the eye, held up the remote, and with a theatrical flourish, pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. The inspector probably thought it was some kind of joke. But then, a low hum started, a deep mechanical whirring sound that seemed to come from beneath the very ground they were standing on. Suddenly, the entire mansion, all several thousand square feet of it, began to rise. It lifted a full 6 inches off its foundation, revealing a sight that left the tax inspector absolutely speechless. Hidden beneath the base of the house were 40 massive, heavy-duty industrial wheels, the kind you'd see on a giant mining truck or a mobile crane. The house, this palace of luxury, was sitting on a colossal, custom-built chassis. And then, as the inspector stared in disbelief, the whole structure slowly, deliberately, rolled forward 2 feet. Mr. Sterling turned to the stunned official, his smile never wavering. He gestured to the now mobile mansion and said with a cool confidence, "It's not a house, officer. It's just a very large recreational vehicle parked on my land." And the thing is, he was technically right, according to the letter of the law. His magnificent home was not a permanent structure fixed to the ground. It was a vehicle. A very, very big one, but a vehicle nonetheless. The tax inspector was floored. He checked the city statutes, consulted with the legal department, and looked for any possible angle to fight it, but there was none. The law was the law. Mr. Sterling had followed it perfectly, albeit in a way nobody had ever imagined. His tax bill went from $100,000 straight down to zero. He had to pay vehicle registration, of course, but that was a tiny fraction of the property tax. He lived for years in his rolling mansion, a testament to the power of creative thinking and reading the fine print. This story is a legendary example of malicious compliance, where someone follows the rules so literally and precisely that it completely subverts their original intent. It shows that sometimes the biggest loopholes are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone clever enough to find them. What do you think? Was this a stroke of genius, or was it an unfair exploitation of the system? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more tales of incredible ingenuity.